So now we're going to cover interview preparation. This is a really important part of the process. Our goal is to help you prepare so that once you've gone through the interview, the decision rests in your hands. So first of all, what we suggest you do is take some time to research the company. This might seem obvious, but it's really important that you formulate some questions that show that you've actually done your homework prior to the meeting. Prepare a list of questions that you'd like to ask during the interview. It's really important that you leave the interview having all of your questions answered. So take the time to write down a list, and it's okay to actually bring the list in with you. It shows that you've done some preparation and that you're very keen about the outcome. So it's important for you to think about what your abilities are that may be above and beyond your peers. So if you can find some examples to actually demonstrate these experiences, that would be a much better way of covering things. At the end of the day, what are the 3 most important things that you want the hiring manager to take away from the interview? Next, we're going to cover some of the common questions that you might come across in an interview. Now, the most common question is usually the first question, which is, so tell me about yourself. Managers normally start with this as it allows them to see how you actually handle yourself in an unstructured situation. Now, it's okay to actually reframe the question so that you can understand exactly what they're looking to cover. So for example, you could say, I'd love to tell you about myself. Is there a specific area that you'd like me to start with? Be prepared that you will actually need to answer the question. So have a summary of your background and experience prepared, and make sure that you cover your professional achievements as opposed to your personal. Just remember that the goal is to set the tone for the rest of the interview. So be brief, a minute or 2 at the most, and offer 2 or 3 examples that are significant to your work achievements. Another question that you'll commonly be asked is, why are you looking? Now, it's important that you don't speak poorly of your current company. Nobody likes to hear your dirty laundry. You can use some examples on what this current role would offer that perhaps your previous job didn't. And never use salary as a reason for making a move. The assumption will be that you're just looking to go to the highest bidder, and managers are interested in someone that has a vested interest in the long-term vision of the company. Another common question is, why would you like to work for our company? Now, this is a really good time for you to show that you've done your research. It's important to start with statements like, based on the research I've done, or what I've seen from your website, and follow up with some of the key points about their reputation, the types of projects, or the working environment that appeal to you. Now, the final question that we'll cover, what salary are you looking for? Now, if you throw out a number that's too high, this might rule you out for consideration, and a number that's too low, there'll be little room for negotiation. Now, there are a few ways to deal with this. So the first way is that you can put it straight back in the hands of your recruiter. Now, the way to do this is to say something along the lines of, I trust that if we're both interested, our recruiter will help us come to a decision that makes sense for both of us. I'm here today to find out more about your team and the opportunity to see if this is the best step for me, and I'm sure that you're trying to determine the same. So I'm confident that if this is the right move for both of us, you will extend a fair offer. Now, another way to respond to the question is just to answer with your current salary. Make sure that you don't stretch or inflate this. Usually the manager will already know what your salary is and really just wants to confirm. Now, finally, you can answer with something like, I'm not looking to make a move based simply on the salary. I want this to be a good fit from all aspects, and I have no doubt that you will offer a competitive package. Now, lastly, we're just going to close on the next steps of the process. Now, you don't have to be overly aggressive, but make sure that they do know you're interested in the position. For example, you could say something like, I like what I've heard today and I'm very interested in moving forward. I understand that you're looking for someone with experience in A, B or C, and as we've discussed, I have specific experience with those points. And before I leave, are there any other questions about my background and qualifications that I can clarify for you so that we can better assess my fit within the team? Now, this is a really nice way to show that you are interested in the position, but also to make sure that all of the points that you wanted covered have been covered today. Now remember, these are just some suggestions to help you with the first interview and to make sure that the decision is in your hands.